Welcome to episode 8. 8? Is it 8? Is it 9?
I don't remember anymore. It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember. We're still in single digits though. But anyways, I am Grudge.
I am Dear Man.
All right, so today I want to talk about it kind of I mean okay, fuck. So we never get political here, really. Okay, never. I mean, okay, sometimes. Anyways, we don't get majorly political, except for today, because today I want to talk about Bill C-11, which, um, okay, so it's called the Online Streaming Act. It's an updated version of Bill C-10, which it was originally introduced last year by former Canadian Heritage Minister Stephen Guilbeault. I probably said that wrong. So, the bill is basically to highlight and promote Canadian content in the world of streaming and would put online content under the jurisdiction of the Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunications Commission. That's a mouthful. CRTC, which would require platforms to showcase Canadian content more than they currently do. So, platforms like Netflix, YouTube, stuff like that would have to recommend more Canadian made content. And I mean, let's be honest, a lot of Canadian content kind of sucks. Like, have you guys ever watched Schitt's Creek?
No, but
I
it
don't think
doesn't look good.
I don't.
It's
I don't even
rough.
think I've heard of it before.
It's rough. Like, I know it's like a famous Canadian show, but it's I can't stand it.
I mean, there's also
So
Corner Gas, but even then, the animated series kind of fell off. So
yeah. So the reason why I'm talking about this is that this is kind of like the Cliff Notes version, but basically, content can be judged as to whether or not it's Canadian enough to get recommended to Canadian viewers.
So what
So
does that mean? You
basically,
have to sling the accent around enough, or what? What does that mean?
um,
just an ad break with maple
so
syrup.
I looked into it a little bit more. Hold on, I had this written out. Fuck, where is it? I took a lot of notes here.
I mean, to be fair, this is Canadian. This is a Canadian podcast because I spiked my coffee this morning with maple whiskey.
Fuck
To
yeah.
be fair,
Not even joking.
Okay, I found it. So, actually, okay, this is a quote from an article posted on openmedia.org. It's under CanCon's Canadian contents, current point system for determining if something is Canadian enough. A production must earn 6 out of 10 points based on how many key creative functions are performed by Canadians. Broadcasting companies are forced to pay into the Canada Media Fund for producing official CanCon, but receive much of that funding back for their CanCon productions. So it's basically like the program needs to have, I guess, enough Canadians involved for it to be considered Canadian content.
Plus, from the
like
sound of it,
actors
enough
or
of Canadian that's from the sound of it, because it's what I don't like about what it's turning into now. A lot of because before, like maybe 5 years ago, you could jump into content creation and boom, you could just blow up and you could have like 1 million people without any investment necessary whatsoever. But now the people are making money off of this shit. You got corporate douche canoes putting their fucking roots in the ground, and then they're trying to make all these little gates that you have to buy in to actually even think about success. In a
Well,
way.
that's kind of the big thing. Like, a lot of these big legacy media companies, like I want to say, is Bell a Canadian company? I had it on the I accidentally closed the tab, but I'm gonna go back to it. But yeah, these big legacy media companies, they are Canadian companies, which means that their stuff is going to get pushed forward much more than anybody else's in Canada. So, hold on. I'm finding that fucking thing
So
again.
something like our situation, like say Bell. Bell is a Canadian company for not for sure, but hypothetical statement. If it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. Whatever. Hypothetical statement. If Bell is a Canadian company, they get pushed more into advertising versus us that would get kind of pushed under the rug because we don't have enough hands into the media scene. Is that what I'm picking up here?
I believe so. Okay, I had more notes on this. So about that, C-11 attempts to distinguish between professional and amateur content based on an unspecified quota for how much money a creator makes, how much money creators generate from a certain platform, the brand deals creators are involved in, among other things. So instead of having diverse voices on the internet, C-11 would penalize the success that creators generate. Many independent creators post on multiple channels to enhance their discoverability and showcase their work to different demographics.
Mm-hmm.
If their content does not meet CanCon requirements, their discoverability is affected on all channels they use for their work.
Yeah, so it's basically like I said, if they don't have enough view, they're basically making it harder for people to recognize and actually view your stuff. They're
Yeah,
making it
pretty much.
and
Pretty
making
much.
people that are already viewed more successful.
Yeah, and it's kind of really like fucking the smaller content
Oh,
creators
yeah.
because it's gonna be pushing forward more of this other Canadian content. And also, like, one thing is maybe people don't want to see these like this certain kind of Canadian content or whatever. They're just not going to click on it, and then algorithms are going to punish you because you're getting a um fuck what's the word? You're getting an impression. Say on YouTube, every time you see a thumbnail, that's counted as an impression. If you're not getting clicked on, the algorithm is kind of gonna
Push you under the
put you
rug.
off to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, push you under the rug.
I fucking hate that, man. I mean,
Yeah,
granted,
so
it's this in general is not something that happens in 2 days. Like this is like there's people that have done this for kind of shit for like years, and they're not even at the same scale of like somebody like fucking Markiplier or something. Like they've been doing it longer than he has, and they're not even on his scale.
yeah.
But
I can see where exactly it is, right? Yeah, okay. So it's past the House of Commons. It's gone to the Senate now.
so now the fucking court just has to fucking vote on it, right?
It's currently in consideration in committee. I don't know what exactly that means because I don't know much about like political shit like that. Um, but it's getting close to being pushed through so far. I've looked at a lot of the votes, and so far, the majority of the votes are saying nay or no. But again, I don't know exactly how this all works. I'm going off on a tangent that's going nowhere because I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's exactly like you said. They just vote on it, whether or not it's actually uh necessary enough. But that being, I guess, dependent on who's voting on it, I don't. It's hard to say whether or not it's actually going to go through or not. Because this is almost the same thing as like net neutrality. Do you guys remember that a few years ago?
I do remember that, yeah.
Where, yeah, where they were just going to market the fuck out of everything on the internet and everything like that. That was like everybody was freaking out. It was the end of the world. It's fucking the internet's gonna die. It's the internet killer, and it never happened. Because I think it went to court and then they said no. Never heard about it again after that. That's my hope for this, in a sense. That's my hope.
Yeah.
But I'm not a prophet. I can't predict the future. I wish I could. If I could predict the future, what I would do is I would get everybody that I know and love a winning lottery ticket. And then we can all live happy and prosperous lives to the very bitter end.
Okay, but if you did that, would you do it all on the same week or would you space them out so that it's different jackpots?
It's a good fucking question, actually. I think I might actually space it out so it's not suspicious that I have powers like that. That would be pretty suspicious because then everybody would like fucking market my ass and be like, yo, give me a winning lottery ticket. I killed a kid yesterday. No.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know that got unnecessarily dark real quick.
That went okay, and yeah, so Bell Media is a legacy broadcasting company, so is Rogers and Chorus Entertainment.
So is that Canadian or not?
Yeah, they're Canadian. So I'm just reading this right now.
Yeah, the article you sent me earlier, like it's actually on the Government of Canada's website. So there's a lot of fucking formal mumbo jumbo in here.
I told you it was a slog. I found
So
a much more simplified version.
yeah.
Here, I can send it to you.
Like there's new and updated regulatory requirements for broadcasting services. Clause 2. What the fuck is clause 2? Santa Claus? What the fuck? What is that? Clause 4? What is he got a brother? He got a sister? Where's the
Well,
other two?
clause is like legal speak for like another little chapter or paragraph.
Okay.
Yeah.
It goes from clause 4 to clause 11. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's really fucking goofy and it is just such a slog. That's why I was like, "Oh my god, this is going to be impossible for me to completely comprehend." But
Well,
I'm glad that
yeah.
I found this much more simplified version.
As I was scrolling through this, I'm like, okay, where's the summary where it actually explains what this does? Because I don't understand a damn thing of it, because it just says the Minister of Justice has examined Bill C-11, an act to amend the Broadcasting Act to make related and consequential amendments to other acts. What does that mean?
Yeah.
For any inconsistency with the charter pursuant of to his obligation under section 4.1 of the Department of Justice Act, this review involves consideration of the objectives and features of the bill. What follows is a non-exhaustive discussion, it's exhaustive all right, of the ways which Bill C-11 potentially engages the rights and freedoms guaranteed by the charter that is presented to assist in informing the public and parliamentary debate on the bill. Still don't understand what it's about, even though that's the charter consideration. So that's just the point.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Here's the thing that really pisses me off is that oh, one sec.
Sneeze, sneeze, sneeze.
Okay, we're good. Fuck you, Grace. So okay, the thing that pisses me off is like that's I think that thing that I sent you was technically the simplified version of the like on the government website. Because if you actually go and you read the documents, you need a fucking law degree to understand most of that shit.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like the first paragraph that I wrote. That's supposed to be like the objective. I didn't understand what the objective was because it was
I get it.
referencing other material.
I get it that these laws need to be like written in a way that you can't really have loopholes and all that stuff, but it should be easy for like the common man to read it and understand everything about these different laws, amendments, all that shit.
Will CB11 give the CRTC the power to regulate your posts? Short answer, yes, like Bill C10. Bill C11 gives the CRTC unprecedented regulatory authority to monitor all online audiovisual content. This power extends to penalizing content creators. Yeah, you said this, or creators fail to comply.
See, my
Bill
question is with the filter, does that base it around like how many like Canadian actors or like people are contributing to it, or is that based on like the values of it? Like, does it need Canadian values, or does it need to be like Canadian actors? Because either way you
was
flip it, that's pretty well discriminatory.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking like what Josh said earlier, because it's very it said like it monitored like the monetary gain, right? That's what you said. It like kind of goes off of monetary gain.
Yeah.
I could see it being like, yeah, it would be like monetary gain. So some people like us who aren't making any money on anything whatsoever, you're gonna get maybe like half a person seeing this shit if this goes through a day, not even.
Found it. Right now, Canadian broadcasters are required to have between 50 to 60% of their yearly programming meet CanCon's strict narrow standards. For example, in order for someone to qualify as a CanCon TV show, the producer must be Canadian and also has to be responsible for monitoring and decision making. Either the director or screenwriter must be Canadian. At least one of the two lead performers must be Canadian. A minimum of 75% of program expenses and 75% of post production expenses must be provided by Canadians and Canadian companies. And a production must earn 6 out of 10 points based on how many key creative functions are performed by Canadians.
So yeah, it's
So, like, I think,
discriminatory to nationality.
yeah, I think that the 6 out of 10 points that are the key creative functions things means like the crew.
Mm. Well, see, and then the other
Or
question I have then for that is like, do they have to be like born in Canada? Because it could just be like, I mean, granted, it probably wouldn't be worth it, but like if someone switched nationalities, like I came here from America, now I'm a Canadian, so now I could bank in on this Canadian content.
I think you have to be a Canadian citizen.
Well, that's what I mean. Like if they got their citizenship.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's just um Canadian citizen. So whether you're born in Canada or you come from America and you become Canadian citizen.
Hmm.
Or did I not understand what you're trying to say?
Well, no, that's basically what I was trying to say though. Is like there's technically a loophole there then because like if you're an American filmmaker, but then you got your Canadian national, like if you became like a Canadian citizen, then congratulations, you're exempt to that whole rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yep. All I know is it's hilarious when you go on Disney Plus because they got this little tab for like, oh, Canadian actors, and then it shows like the Avengers and shit because that one girl, Nick Fury's like agent there, I forget her name.
Oh,
She
Kobe Smulders, I think is her name. She was in How I
yeah,
Met Your
yeah,
Mother.
yeah, no, yeah. So it's funny. It's like, oh, we got the Avengers. It's Canadian content. It's like it's fucking Canadian. It's not Canadian. There's like one person that you're calling out saying it's Canadian. Same with like
I think it,
Deadpool. It's in there.
I think it was partially filmed in Toronto too, but I don't know if that counts because a lot of those actors are like American or other nationalities.
Yeah. Well, not to mention that they're not really displaying it as Toronto either. It's supposed to be like New York City. So.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, I mean, if they're going off of filming location, there's a ton of areas filmed in Toronto because they get a tax break. On that note, fun fact: the Thing 2011 remake was actually filmed in a quarry just outside of Toronto.
really?
Yep. Oh yeah, they just fucking loaded it with snow and then they just filmed.
Huh,
So
that works.
fair enough. Oh yeah.
I like this paragraph right here. It says, "Who is the Bill C-11 actually for?" It says, "The real motive of the Online Streaming Act is simple. Streaming platforms and creators on them are bringing more and more revenue, and the legacy media wants a piece of the pie." So, like I said earlier, a lot of the corporate fucking investors are like, "Hey, there's a lot of people like Mr. Beast making millions and millions of dollars for fucking putting videos on the internet. Gimme, gimme, gimme." Shit like
E-
that. Like,
Except Mr. Beast won't be affected because he's not Canadian.
well, exactly. I'm just saying that as a hypothetical statement. Like somebody like that, if there's somebody that's Canadian like that, then they're gonna get more money, and then people like us that are just either starting out or don't have a much a big following as somebody like Mr. Beast or something like that, they're gonna tank.
Yeah.
You guys ever watch iCarly growing up?
Little bit, but it was kind of infuriating.
Do you remember that one episode where a studio executive finds out about the show and then he tries to like overly commercialize it?
No.
I don't remember that
Yeah,
one.
because it's really funny. There is an episode of iCarly where it's literally dealing with basically this, where it's like a top tier executive finding out about this like very popular web series, and he's like, "Oh my god, I can make money off this," and then he just completely like ruins the show by trying to overly commercialize it. So
Oh, I think I remember that plot point, but I don't remember anything about the show. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I vaguely remember
weird.
they put a fucking mascot character on the show, and it's like, yeah, okay. It's just funny because like the show itself is made by a company, but then the company's basically riffing on that concept. I don't know, it was done pretty well, all things considered. But yeah, that's all I think of though when I hear about this shit. It's literally just the iCarly thing. That or whenever a studio tries to like use memes for marketing and it never
Oh,
works well.
yeah,
Like you know the Spirit Halloween meme right now going on, like the
yeah,
costume.
yeah,
I've seen companies using that meme to like advertise their shit, but they completely miss the point because part of the meme is just roasting the costume, but then they're
yeah.
advertising their stuff and it's like all positives. It's like, oh, it's such a great costume. It's like, no, you're missing the point.
Oh, I saw this great one last night. It was a dad costume, and there was nothing in the bag.
Aw.
Whoa!
That took you a minute.
It's a whole okay. There wasn't a bag of milk, was there?
No, it was just nothing. It was an empty bag.
Okay, you didn't come back with the milk. Feels bad. You didn't come back with the cigarettes either.
Jesus.
But yeah, like I hope that this fucking C-11 shit does, because it just kind of makes me feel like that. Yeah, that it's just it solidifies my opinion that a lot of the corporate companies that are like television and shit like that, they want money. They want more money. They have
Yeah,
billions of dollars as it is, but they want more money. They want more. They
exactly.
want more. It's not fair, but whatever.
God, I hate billionaires.
I know. Is it
Did you
still
Um,
guys
legacy
hear about
broadcasting media? Oh no, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say like to get off on sort of like a side thing. Did you guys hear about like the first basically 24 hours Musk has Twitter?
yeah, a bunch of people decided to test the limits of Twitter's automated mod system or whatever it's called.
Oh no, not that. He basically
Oh,
went into HQ and heads just started rolling.
oh yeah, he fucking
Yeah.
fired. What was it, 75% of the staff?
What?
Well, and
Yeah.
all the major heads are gone, like the CEO, the CFO, the chief operations ops,
No
like all of
way.
them. They're gone. They're gone. So, and then he made a fucking meme about it on his Twitter.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
I gotta see this.
Yeah, he made a meme about it. Like, my God, buddy.
I gotta see this. Is this just like on Musk's Twitter or what?
Oh, the meme? Yeah.
Yeah. Elon Musk is
5,600 employees is 75% of the staff.
Jesus.
But okay, hold on. I'm still on Google, so I could don't quote me on that. Wow, I just punched my mic. Um either way, he fired a lot of people, and that's a lot of people who now don't have jobs. They took your jobs. I've been watching They took your jobs. I've been watching South Park so much.
That's
That's gonna make me cringe when I listen back to that when editing. Oh god. Yep, I cringed. Also, one more thing about C-11. I asked some friends if they could send in some audio clips of them talking about how they feel about C-11, so I'm gonna put that right here.
Yo, yo, what's going on, guys? Man, I just want to start off by saying thanks so much for inviting me out on the show and let me give my 2 cents about old Bill C-11 here. It's definitely been a hot topic as of late, and as a small Canadian content creator myself, it's been something that's really caught my attention lately. Seems like the more I investigate it, the more relevance it holds, not only for content creators of all sizes, but for any Canadians really who consume their content via the internet. Talking about things like Spotify, like Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, all the fun ones. Apps that, in my experience, already have their algorithms pretty dialed in, and they're functioning pretty well as intended. They're giving the people what they want already, and that's not something I really want to see change too much. So I've got some mixed feelings about Bill C-11. if I'm being completely honest. I don't want to just come out swinging and try to tear it apart. I'd like to offer, or try to offer, a balanced opinion based on some of the things I've learned so far. So, to start, I'll just very briefly tell you what I think is good about Bill C-11. So, I think the idea of promoting Canadian created content to Canadians is a good thing. I really do. Personally, I would love to see more Canadian created content if it's the type of content that I already enjoy viewing. You know what I'm saying? If I'm out there, I'm on YouTube, I'm watching my videos. I'm not gonna tell you what kind of videos I watch. You don't need to. You know, I'll tell you what kind of videos I watch. Fuck it. I'm out on YouTube and I'm watching Goku versus Demon Lord Rimuru Tempest Mugen Death Battle version 10, and that shit finishes. The next video that I want YouTube to suggest to me, or that YouTube should suggest to me, better be Goku versus Demon Lord Rimuru Tempest Mugen Death Battle 11, the rematch. I'd be cool with that. I would fuck with that. The part that scares me is that if there's no more Mugen Death battles and the video finishes and the next video you suggest to me is how to tie your skates with a hockey stick or how to beat Wayne Gretzky in a face-off, I'm going to be real fucking pissed off, okay? That's not the kind of shit I need to see on my feed. And that's the part that scares me. If you start just shoving Canadian, and I'm doing air quotes here because whatever you think Canadian is, if you start shoving Canadian, again air quotes, content in my face, and it's not relevant to the type of stuff that I enjoy viewing already, I'm gonna be upset. You're gonna ruin the viewer experience, and that's gonna cause a lot of problems. But yeah, like I said, I really don't have a problem with the idea of the bill, but of some of the things in the bill, but the execution needs to be much more well thought out than it appears to be already. Man, I think something like creating a CanCon filter as a search option or a category in its own right that anybody could use, not just Canadians. I think that would be a much better and probably a much more effective way of achieving what this bill purports to do. But yeah, that's it. That's my pro. I got one. The cons are many, and I'll try to go through them as fast as I can here and summarize them as best I can. All right, so the cons. There are so many, but I have picked 3. I'm just gonna jump right into them, man. So my first con with this bill C-11 thing, my first con is that I feel like it's going to manipulate the already badass algorithms that most online media distributors have. I'm talking about the ones that service up fire ass content on the daily, the ones that keep us scrolling for hours aimlessly and endlessly. I don't want that to change. I like hating scrolling aimlessly for hours the way it's going, all right? If if we start to artificially serve up people content they might not want to see just because it's of a certain variety, we're going to diminish the user experience. And not just the user experience, the creator experience too. I feel like if content is being served up by the algorithm and then being passed on by the viewers, it's going to create a negative feedback loop, which can slow down and potentially even stop some creators' growth altogether. And I don't really think that helps Canadian creators. My second con that this bill presents is that instead of promoting and helping to develop new and emerging technologies like streaming services, it seems to be penalizing them instead. Companies like Netflix are going to be forced to pay to produce Canadian content, but they're not going to be able to receive funding from places like the Canadian Media Fund, CMF. So even when they're producing Canadian content, it seems like companies like Chorus and Bell are going to be able to reap the benefits. They also have to pay into these into funds like this as well. The difference being that they're able to access the Canadian Media Fund for making CanCon productions. So essentially what we're looking at is like a direct money transfer of these streaming platforms that we like to older legacy broadcast services that we kind of don't. Yeah, so that's that. My third and final con for today has got to do with what this bill is actually going to consider Canadian content or not. I know in recent years there's been productions about Trump that have been greenlit as CanCon, and meanwhile, iconically Canadian stories like A Handmaid's Tale haven't met the standard somehow. So I guess my big concern is if massive production studios with $1 million budgets and teams of litigators are having a hard time fitting the mold or figuring it out, how are new, young, inexperienced content creators supposed to feel confident coming into the space? So yeah, that's me. That's my take on Bill C-11. Some good, most bad, and yeah, man, I can't thank you guys enough for giving me the opportunity to just talk about it a little bit, and I'm glad you guys are too. It's very relevant to what you guys do, to what many of our friends in the content creation space do, and yeah, it's too often that I think that's too often that I hear about issues like this that really do affect us and how we live our lives, and oftentimes it's not until it's dire. Like right now, it's in the Senate. It's the last stop before it's law, you know. And this is kind of like the last ditch effort to raise awareness about the issue. So whether or not that helps or changes things in the future, I don't know. But I think it's great what you guys are doing, and yeah, man, power to you. And thanks again, man. Thank you, Grudge. Thank you, Dear Man. Thank you, Puzzle. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Around the Lantern. Thanks for having this bum on your show. Later, gang.
Thank you so much, Jaw, for sending in that clip. You can find him on Twitch at JawMarley420. His link will be in the YouTube description, but now it's time to continue on with the show.
It's right there. Can you?
Right there.
Right there. It's right.
That
right
was.
there. You can't miss it.
You just heard some people talking about C-11.
Again.
For us. For us, it was instantaneous. For you, it was not.
If you did it. If you didn't, you're a liar and you need to do it.
If I didn't, then yes, I am a liar. Throw an ad break. Yes, we're sponsored by Thin Air. It exists. It's not paying us anything.
What's the one thing on the planet that's free? Our fucking oxygen.
For now.
Just wait till they fucking monetize that shit. Every breath you take costs fucking 5 cents. Just wait.
Wasn't that the plot of the
Lorax? Yeah.
Yeah. I barely even saw that movie, but I just remember there was a point about like Oxygen was a subscription service, was it? Or
what?
Well, if I remember the movie, they sold it like they did like bottled water almost.
Yeah, bottled oxygen.
What the hell?
Because the entire neighborhood was plastic, right? Like it was, and the sky was plastic too.
That's so dumb.
So they found a way to monetize oxygen. Because
in a weird way, when you sorry,
that was also the plot of a certain Doctor Who episode. Actually, my favorite episode because it's my favorite episode because it kind of reminded me a little bit of Dead Space. Without the zombies though. They were kind of zombies. It was oxygen was the currency on this spaceship. The workers were paid in oxygen. So like if they weren't wearing their suits, there was no oxygen in the system or in the space station. So the only way that they could really live is in their suits. And eventually, when they became too expensive, the suits had a thing built into them that would kill the wearer.
Yikes.
It was a really fucked up episode, but it's my favorite episode of that whole show. Because it's just so, like, over the top ridiculous.
No, that's crazy. That's hard. That's rough to think about because that's actually somewhat realistic. Like if you think about it, because if we colonize in space somewhere, hypothetically, I'm getting a little theoretical now, fucking
Oh,
multi-millions away, years away.
are are we
When
are we
that
talking about some hypothetical cosmic horror here?
Yes. Whenever
Uh,
it's literally the same thing. If we colonize in space somewhere, like if we go to Mars, right? There's no air there. How are we gonna get air there? You can't. Well, I
oh
guess you
well.
could fucking grow a tree. I guess I don't fucking know, but
Remember when Elon Musk suggested nuking the North Pole of Mars to terraform the planet?
did he? What is this fucking guy on?
Hold on. Elon Musk nuke Mars. Let's
He just,
see.
what?
Yeah. Elon Musk
I'm a little
floats nuke
misinformed
Mars
on.
idea again. He has t-shirts.
I'm a little misinformed on nuclear weapons, but wouldn't that just fucking irradiate any
He
water
has
to be had from that?
t-shirts.
I would think so. I would think so.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, if he wants to terraform it in the same way as the Fallout universe, be my guest. Fucking death claws and shit on Mars.
This is from space.com. 4 years ago, the SpaceX
Space.com.
founder, space.com. The SpaceX founder and CEO went on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and discussed a strategy for making the red planet more livable, detonating nuclear bombs over its poles. The explosions would vaporize a fair chunk of Mars's ice caps, liberating enough water vapor and carbon dioxide to warm up the planet substantially, but also irradiate everything.
What a fucking
Because
American method. Let's just blow stuff up.
because now you've got fallout in this water vapor.
The terraforming concept is apparently still bouncing around in Musk's head because on Thursday, August 15th, he tweeted, seemingly unprompted, "Nuke Mars!" A few hours later, he followed up with another tweet, "T-shirts soon."
He's gonna send a nuke to Mars with a little iodine tablet taped to the side. That'll alleviate all the irradiation.
Yes, yes.
A
What's
singular
that?
iodine tablet.
What's that shit from the Fallout games? Rataway? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
yeah. Just a single one taped to the side.
Hey, you want to
That'll do it.
colonize Mars? You might grow an extra arm, but you
Or
can
a
be the
third
first man
eye.
on Mars.
I mean, if you remember Total Recall, you can get a third something else.
Well, look at that guy. He grew a second penis.
Everyone will start looking like the mutants off Futurama.
Jesus.
Someday, instead of saying they would give their left nut for something, they would give their central nut for something.
A medical condition, okay? I'm sorry.
You know, it's kind of weird though. But jumping back to the Lorax, like that film's a post-apocalyptic film.
Yeah,
When you
I
think
guess
about
so.
yeah, because I
Fuck.
mean, like when they go outside of city limits, it's just a complete fucking barren wasteland. Like there's no trees or anything left. Like when you think more about that film's universe, it's really fucking dark.
Yeah.
Uh,
Isn't the whole story about like a little creature that's like the keeper of trees?
yes.
Okay.
Well, see,
That's
the book that it's based on, if I'm not mistaken, like they didn't do like that far. It's basically just someone gets a lesson from a little fuzzy boy in the woods, but like the movie took it a step further, and it's like, no, he failed. The world's been completely strip mined, and it's just a little town that harvests air. Like, yeah, like it's. I mean, it was a good movie.
Okay, yeah, it was written by Dr. Seuss. Well, it makes sense because they had to make a movie out of it, right?
Yeah.
There probably wasn't enough material in the original story to make a full out movie. Oh, they did that with the Grinch.
Yes. And The Cat in the Hat,
Yes.
which infamously was so bad.
That was the first movie I ever saw in theaters, and for some reason it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
Oh
Don't
fuck
ask me
yeah!
why.
No, there's some fever dream moments in that movie.
Yeah, that movie was a trip.
Well, did you know that the film was so poorly received that it's the reason you have not seen another live action Dr. Seuss film? They've sworn
That's
off
fair.
live action after that.
Well, his style doesn't really work for live action, I don't think, because that cat was terrifying.
The Grinch worked. It was just Michael Myers as a fucking bat wielding cat threatening to bludgeon some of the neighborhood kids. A few problems with that one.
I imagined, um, I imagined the slasher Michael Myers.
Well, did you ever see that mock-up trailer where like when it came out and they did an edit where it was just the cat in the hat?
No,
Yeah. No, they did an edit. Yeah, I would recommend it. There's a little mock-up trailer where it's just the cat in the hat instead of Pennywise, and it works surprisingly well.
that's hilarious.
So, ugh.
Well, we can always make this one a bit of a shorter episode. Billy, do you want to take on your topic?
I was about to ask. So, did anyone watch the Silent Hill transmission?
Didn't they like announce
a
4
little.
games?
There is 3 legit games. One thing that feels very fucking weird, and they announced a new film. So a ton
New
of
film?
content.
New film.
Yeah, because there was the Christoph Gans film that came out in 2006. 2012, they made a sequel that was very not good, but Christoph Gans is returning to make a true sequel to the original based on Silent Hill 2. And on that note, Bloober Team was announced to remake Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
And we're also getting 2 new Silent Hill games. One of them's called Townfall, which they didn't show a lot of, but it looks like it's one of those typical Silent Hill affairs where someone has some sort of problem in their life. They go to the town, demons get brought up, you know, like the typical formula.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's one of them that looks very, very interesting. It's a Silent Hill F. And I'd recommend just looking up the trailer for that one, but
That's one with the
basically
flowers, right?
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's not in the town. It's in like some like 60s era Japanese countryside like town. Like it looks very unique. So I'm actually really excited for that one.
And aren't a lot of the creatures in Silent Hill kind of based on yokai?
Not necessarily. I think a lot of them are. I mean, a lot of them are just body horror, but like they're based on like certain reflections of like the person's psyche. So,
Right.
like, I know
Right.
Masahiro Ito. He even confirmed recently that Pyramid Head is James from Silent Hill
Hmm.
2. So, yeah, I don't know the way I would stack it though. Like, I'm excited for Silent Hill F the most. I'm gonna play that when it launches. Townfall, I'm also pretty excited for, but they didn't show anything, so
That one's probably
I
gonna
can only
be
get so
later,
excited.
It's gonna be a
Yeah,
remake of Downfall.
Downfall. What's
Downpour.
that?
Downpour. I'm an idiot.
Oh, Downpour.
I thought it was called
You know, I actually
Downfall.
really liked. No, I really liked Downpour. So I mean, I wouldn't be against that. I know a lot of people say it was a bad game, but like it was really good. So,
Yeah.
no, it's
I
Townfall. Sorry,
fucking Downpour.
no, Townfall looks like it's set in the '90s though, just based on the little teaser having a lot of like '90s analog sort of like technology in it. So
Mhm.
it's probably set around the '90s. I'm excited for that. Silent Hill 2 remake. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm gonna play it. Granted, it's very pretty looking, but like, it's just Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
Everything
like
we're really
I
gonna
can
change
wait.
about it.
Well, exactly. I mean, I know a lot of a lot of the people that left the transmission, they were really like upset about the remake because little tiny differences, like James looks sad.
That's it?
Yeah, yeah, no, there's a genuine like look on the communities right now. A lot of people are mad that he looks depressed. It's like, yeah, his fucking wife is dead, and he's coming to town believing she's still alive. He might have mixed emotions.
I mean, yeah, I would think that.
No,
Not he's like, yeah,
there's
I'm ready to fucking fuck everything up, shit like that. No, not for a game like that. No,
no,
it
and
makes sense
then
to
other
me.
people have issues with Bluebird team doing it, but I mean, I don't know. It looks interesting, but
Plus,
Bloober
BP.
Team did
the medium,
the
Blair Witch,
medium.
Layers of Fear,
Okay. Yeah, I haven't
bunch of
played
stuff.
any of those, but I've heard of the medium and Layers of Fear.
They do a bunch of psychological horror. Like, I mean, it makes sense. Like, I mean, I know some people have issues with some of their original content, but it's like they're not going on anything original here. Really, they're remaking like Silent Hill 2. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I mean, it's just Silent Hill 2. I'll probably wait on that one. But the last one though is the one I'm not excited for in the slightest. So there's three main games, and then there's this weird sort of thing, and it's called Silent Hill Ascension. And basically, what it looks like is it's a live stream where people can comment, and their comments will affect the story.
Oh,
And that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Kind of
that
reminds me
sounds
of there's a
goofy.
GTA. You know, there's like a GTA thing you can do where it's like the chaos mod or something like that. If you're streaming it, you can enable it so that like your, I guess, comments, like there's like a little list of stuff that can happen, and then you
Oh,
can
chat commands.
yeah, there's like chat commands. You can enable that, and you could like rain meteors down on people and just cause all kinds of chaos, and the person has no idea what's gonna happen. So that reminds me of that, actually.
I mean,
Well, and that's the
I
thing
do
though, because
kind
like,
of. Oh,
well, I
I
was gonna
do
say
kind
like
of like.
it's Josh first.
Pause. Speak. Pause. Speak. I love it. Oh god, hilarious.
Now you're just
Guys, I
waiting for
lost
each
my
other.
train of thought. Go ahead, Billy.
No, you first.
Oh, I remember now. Thank you, Billy. So, you know what? I do kind of like some of those things for like Twitch streams because they really do promote audience. I can't remember my words today at all. What?
Audience
Interaction. Yes.
interaction, yeah.
Yeah. Audience interaction. Fuck, my nose is itchy.
I mean, I would agree
Anyways.
with you, but the problem is the way that they market it's based on like the little teaser. They say like, oh, your uh, comment interaction will affect the story, and they made this huge hullabaloo about like it's gonna be canon. Like,
Oh
I'm not too
no.
sure. Yeah, like that's the problem. I don't think I really want a bunch of fanfic nerds and trolls in the comments just affecting canon.
Yeah, well, it's probably gonna be one of those cases where there's like a specific path that is canon, but everything
It's like
else isn't.
prescripted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
it's
don't
like
know.
if you look
And
at
also
Assassin's
too, like,
Creed Odyssey, like you can choose whether you play as Cassandra or Alexios, but Alexia or Cassandra is the canon main character.
like there probably is preset paths that like the comments can like direct it to, but I don't know. Like the other thing too is like if you're familiar with Silent Hill Book of Memories, that one is very hated for the dumbest reasons. But a lot of the like we didn't see much of Ascension, but like the only thing we did see was like this like weird monster. And the first thing that I thought of as soon as I saw that monster was that looks like a Silent Hill Book of Memories monster. So right off the bat, not a good start because I just know that and it feels very spin-off-ish, you know? It doesn't feel like
Hmm.
something that should be regarded in any way, shape, or form as like canon. But then they're bolstering it as like this weird Twitch live stream event. I don't know if it's on Twitch, but you know what I mean though. Like it's like this bizarro like live stream thing. I'm not interested in it at all, really.
Seems more of
So,
like a
And it's
gimmick.
only going to be the one and done, huh?
oh, one and done. Okay.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing though too. Is now I question. It's like, well, can I replay it after, or is it like that's it? So I don't know.
What's it called again? Ascension.
Ascension, ass tension.
Yeah. Wait, ass tension? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I guess that's how you spell it. I think. Ass
Mhm.
tension?
No, no, no. It's
No?
it's Ascension. That's an old zero punctuation joke from God of War Ascension.
Oh, god damn it. How did I not get that? That's one thing. Games always it's like um Revelations, Origins, and Ascension are like
Cliche.
every game is steering towards that at some point.
Assassin's
Final
Creed.
I
Fantasy
mean,
just did Final Fantasy Origin.
Assassin's
well, that
Creed
really
kinda-
bad Silent Hill movie I told you about is called Silent Hill Revelation.
Oh,
And
for
then there's
fuck's sakes.
Resident Evil Revelations.
What are they?
Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Origins. I think the only thing they haven't done is Ascension yet. That's the only thing that
That's-
they haven't done.
That's probably going to be the next one after
Probably.
they do Mirage.
Well, they did a Silent Hill prequel back in the PS2 era that was called Silent Hill Zero in Japan and Origins in America.
Of course.
X-Men
How many
Origins.
Origins are there? We will never know. There's also
Oh,
that
I
fucking
did
Dead Space game that's coming. It's not Dead Space, but I think it's conceived.
Callisto Protocol?
Yeah, is it the guy that made or thought like created Dead Space?
The
that's making
director.
It, or
It was the director
Yeah.
of Dead Space. Also, they are remaking Dead Space, and that looks fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, though, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still putting my money more on Callisto than Dead Space remake because it kind of feels weird. It's like this is the studio that ruined Dead Space to begin with, and now they're kind of banking on it after like survival horror made a big return.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not to say it's gonna be a bad remake, but like,
Well,
I
Dead
mean, these
Space
guys
is my
kinda ruined
favorite
it.
horror franchise, so I'm definitely going to play it.
But did you hear Callisto Protocol is banned in Japan?
Really?
It was way too graphic and gory. They could not get it past the censorship. They had to
Shit.
drop release. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's a good sign.
No, yeah, that's actually amazing because that's what Dead Space back in the day was meant, or that was what it was known for. There's a lot of like the body horror of the necromorphs and stuff like that. So no, that's actually good to hear for the Western side of things.
I know that this time, for Dead Space, they've been really marketing this thing called like peel mechanics, where
Peel?
like, yeah,
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah, that's like with the bodies, right?
the skin like peels as you're shooting them, so
Yeah.
you're like shooting bits of flesh off. That's been like a big like marketing point. Every time that I've seen something about the new Dead Space remake, they talk about their peel mechanics.
You know, my smooth brain thought about when you said you peel mechanics. I thought about
Banana peel.
peels. Yeah, my fucking smooth brain
A little necromorph banana.
slipping on a banana peel or something like that. I was like, peel mechanics. Wait, this isn't fucking Mario Kart.
Is it anything similar to The Last of Us? Because I don't know if you guys played Last of Us remake, but like when you shoot someone in that game, it is very much like you just shot them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
The Last of Us
have you
2
played
did
the
that.
remake?
I played The Last of Us 2. I haven't played the remake. I don't have a PS5 yet.
Mm.
However, I can now officially save up for one because I'm working again.
Nice.
Starting on the 9th.
On the 9th. Oh yeah, so that's like a week away still, yeah?
Yeah, which means the podcast might become a little more sporadic at that time, but we'll still make it work.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't sporadic.
Yeah, we just took a 2-month break. But this time I've got 2 weeks for every episode because we're recording 2 weeks ahead now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna really help with keeping recordings regular. However, we might have to start recording on weekdays occasionally.
Okay.
I know my Puzzle Ghoul Instagram page. I kind of let it like stagnate for a while there, but I've been posting like some AI art there because I found this. What's the app called? It's Night Cafe, and they actually have like a really good AI generator.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I've been posting a bunch of stuff onto the Instagram page with that.
A few of my friends have been screwing around with this AI generator that makes anime girls for some reason, and they are so obsessed with it, and they've invested money into it, and I do not understand why, and it irritates the shit out of me. They've invested like $20 into this fucking thing.
Only
to
weebs.
make anime girls, dude.
It's only weebs.
That's only weebs. Oh my god, you guys. My OnlyFans got rejected.
Why did it get
Because
rejected?
apparently my profile picture was too confusing.
What? Please explain what was.
I used my Tonberry photo, but they responded with people won't know what kind of content you're creating, and it's like people will know me from my outside stuff.
I'm just saying,
But yeah.
Josh, a lot of the girls on that site, they wear skimpy clothing, so I don't know. I mean, if it's the problem with the picture.
I think I'm gonna have to retry and
Just get a naked
And-
one on there.
no, I'm not doing. I'll have to do it tastefully.
Well, you could do
Wear
it like
the
Disney
inflatable
style and
T-Rex
just get rid of the
costume.
robe. You could just get rid of the robe.
Oh no, I'm not asking Jay to draw that.
Do it. It's just like a cartoon thing. It's not like there's a little pecker hanging off the fucking bottom end or not.
But we don't know what they look like under the robe. Oh my god, there's so many.
Leave
So
that
many
up
options.
to imagination, baby. Leave that up to imagination. That guy could
Damn
be
it, no-
Giga Chad underneath, dude. That guy one shots you. He's probably ripped like Giga Chad, dude. Honestly.
Yeah. Fuck. How did you know that Tonberry's one shot you?
It's like a common gaming fact.
Oh, okay. All right.
Plus, I've
Most
played the
people-
remake. I've played the remake.
Good shit. Most people are like, what are Tonberries? And I'm like, they're little rage monsters. They're little buckets of rage. They walk up to you with their little knife, they stab you,
and you die.
Average Englishman.
They wave their lantern around and fucking murder you.
Don't they teleport around, or am I retarded?
Yeah, they teleport around.
Oh my god, because I found one in the when I played the Final Fantasy VII remake. I found one. I was
Okay.
like, wait a minute, I recognize you. You're dangerous. Wait a minute, back the fuck up.
Okay, they don't really teleport around. They teleport around in some games, but usually they walk towards you a couple steps at a time in turn-based ones. And then yeah, once that they finally walk up to you, they will stab you and instantly kill you.
Oh my god.
There were remember when I was doing the drinking game streams?
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes when I would do a Tonberry related quest, I had a lot to drink that time those times. Cuz that game is kind of like a Souls-like, and you've got Tonberries.
Oh yeah. So they. Oh fuck. That's
Just call Final Fantasy the Dark Souls of something, did you?
What?
Well, like, you compared it to Dark Souls. It's like every game reviewer, when the game is slightly hard, it's like, this is the Dark Souls of this genre.
No, but like it's I mean, I call it a Souls-like because it has a little bit of that kind of feel to it. It is difficult when it wants to be, but once you get certain abilities, you can just steamroll your way through the game. But yeah, those Tonberries, they're terrifying, and you have to kill 3 of them in those missions. And the thing is, they stun you, they teleport up to you, and they give you the doink.
I want to make that a quote somewhere. They walk up to you and they give you the doink. That sounds so bad out of context.
Actually, if you ever see the summoning sequence from 8, that's literally what it does. It walks up to the enemy, it stabs them, and then it says doink.
Does it really?
Yeah, I'll show you after this. It's great.
Lantern merch.
Oh yeah. No, that's a t-shirt pattern right there. Doink.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just a little
Oh,
lantern on top.
that's
and then the
definitely a
quote.
t-shirt. That's definitely a t-shirt.
That's awesome.
All right, so what do you guys think? Is it time to wrap it up, do you think?
Sure.
Yeah, probably around that time.
All right, so this has been episode something of the Around the Lantern podcast. I still don't remember what episode this is.
I think it's 8.
I think it's 8 too.
Let me check the fucking K. Hang on.
No,
Let's
this
just
is
do the
episode
Final
9.
Fantasy thing.
No.
No. It's episode 8, part 2. And then we'll have episode 8, part 3, or Lantern Returns.
Oh, gross. Gross. We don't talk about that one.
No, it is 8 because you have before the break and it's episode 7.
Yeah, we recorded episode 8 with Phil last week.
I'm retarded. Yeah,
We're
you're
2 weeks ahead.
right. I'm living in the past.
Okay, anyways, this has been episode 9 of the Around the Lantern podcast. Thank you,
It's 8 in
anybody
my
who
heart.
has listened.
Canonically, this is Dirge of Puzzle around the lantern.
God, I fucking hate that. Alright, there's going to be some links in the description for Bill C-11. There are some petitions that you can sign. I don't know if it'll do anything, but if you want to feel like you're helping out, might as well, right? Hope
Good
everybody
deed of
has
the day.
a
Do
great
it.
day.
Good day. Good day.